I didn't
Hello
know
everybody
if
and
they
welcome to another
releasing
edition of
normal and
Board
heroic
Plays.
this week,
And as you
then
can see
next
here,
week
we're going to
they
be
were doing
doing the
mythic,
Druid Mage
or if it was
Tower.
all
Now
together.
this
I
is the
didn't
first
remember
ever
off the
Mage
top of my
Tower
head.
I've ever completed. So I wanted to really tell everybody about it because this is supposedly one of the hardest. Now, as you can see here, we're going to be doing the Druid one, and I want to tell you that I made sure that I was fully
before you
buffed up
got
for
here,
this
I got I had
with
a
Mark of the Wild,
9,
flasks, food,
an 8, and a 5%
and also my weapon
so I want to kill
also
this fucking
done.
guy. And then after that, I'm down to do
So
keys,
I ended up kind of going into this with a little bit of research, just so I knew what was going on,
what changes they're
and I wanted to make sure I kind of relayed that all the information to you. So what I ended up doing was I stayed in the Ore of Decay until there was 6 stacks, and made sure I interrupt every single life drain that was possible. And when I was not in that, I would end up Moonfire spamming, because that Moonfire spam actually does help and produces a lot of DPS and damage. So it was something I wanted to make sure I did there. Now, as for grouping the ads, I always made sure I grouped the ads and pulled them onto the boss. By that time, usually the decaying on the floor would end up being away. It would be gone, the aura of decay. So that debuff. So that was pretty good. Now, I tried to not use a lot of the orbs, but I ended up definitely using some of them. The other thing I made sure I did was I made sure that if I got knocked out of the dungeon from the infernals or one of the eyeballs or anything like that, I made sure I hit the charge button back in really quickly, as you can see there. And also I made sure that I always knew where that infernal was. That infernal, I think, is more of a headache and a problem than anything else in this whole entire dungeon. I made sure I ended up keeping an eye on that and doing as much as I could. Now, as for the portion where it comes down to the DPS, I made sure I just stayed on the boss every single time. My debuff dropped, I went back in. I was 100% trying to make sure my stack stayed up there. My Moonfire, my Thrash, all of that. And I went through very quickly, and I only had one Infernal up, which made my life a lot easier in Phase 2. As you can see, kind of went through really quickly, and we were able to, take care of that. We ended up going in to the phase pretty smoothly, considering. And then once that happened, I instantly drumsed, and I used the DPS flask, and I made sure that that Infernal died down quickly, so it was out of the way. I made sure I kept an eye on Crawl, made sure that I interrupted his heal, because that thing will full heal him very quickly, and will definitely be an issue. So I kind of went through that, and then I just pushed through. As much as I can say that, this was very lucky for me. I made sure that I was doing the same techniques I was doing on the first boss, on the second boss, and I made sure that I was making sure the Nether Stomps were going around Prophet Bellum, so that I can end up hitting those orbs for those heals, and also the stuns, because those stuns and heals I think really did help me making sure that I had time to kind of think, because it took me a little while to figure out what was going on. And also making sure to stun that Infernal. That Infernal, like I said, was my biggest issue and my concern throughout the whole entire time. As I was going through, I did have a couple of old trinkets from Shadowlands. I just want to make sure you know. I did have, Codex of the First Technique, and I did use Blood Spattered Scale. I have been trying to killing this boss since then, but I wanted to make sure I had those because they were almost like full heals. In addition to the pots, abyssal pots, and so on and so forth. We killed them! So this was an amazing accomplishment for me, and it was so enjoyable to finally get the death, as you can see. And I just wanted to make sure I relayed as much messages and information as possible. If anyone has any questions or anything, please make sure you post below, and I'll be able to kind of help you out. All right, thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye, everybody. And make sure you hit the subscribe button here, and go to our Twitch channel and hit that follow button there. Thanks again. Bye, everybody.
Oh my God.